In the first chapter of this story, we witnessed the birth of a machine that refused to sink. Designed by two relentless innovators, Benjamin Holt and C.L. Best, their rivalry, their inventions, and their historic merger created something the world had never seen before, Caterpillar Inc. And soon, those machines were no longer just farming tools. They marched into history, across the muddy battlefields of World War I, and through the chaos of World War II. They hauled artillery, built airstrips, moved mountains of earth. When the wars finally ended, the world was broken, cities destroyed, roads gone, nations struggling to stand again. And once again, those yellow machines appeared, not for war, but for rebuilding, road by road, bridge by bridge, nation by nation. By the 1950s, Caterpillar was no longer just a tractor company. It was becoming something far bigger, a global engineering powerhouse. But the real transformation was only about to begin, because the second half of the 20th century would unleash the largest construction boom in human history. Gigantic dams, massive highways, explosive mining expansion, entire cities rising from empty land. And everywhere those projects began, one machine kept showing up, bigger, stronger, more powerful than ever before: Caterpillar. But growth on this scale never comes easy. New competitors were rising, economic shocks were coming, and the world itself was changing faster than anyone expected. The question was no longer, can Caterpillar build machines? The question was, could Caterpillar keep building the world? Because from the 1950s onward, the yellow machines would spread across continents, enter new industries, and become one of the most powerful industrial companies on Earth. This is the next chapter of that story. The 1950s marked the turning point for Caterpillar Inc. The company that once built tractors for farmers was now preparing for something much bigger. The world was expanding. Cities were growing. Infrastructure was accelerating. And Caterpillar wanted to be everywhere. In 1950, the company made a historic move. It opened its first overseas subsidiary in England. This was the beginning of Caterpillar's transformation into a true multinational company. From this moment forward, yellow machines would begin appearing on construction sites far beyond the United States, across Europe, across Asia, across the developing world. But expansion alone wasn't enough. Caterpillar continued pushing engineering innovation. In the early 1950s, the company introduced its first self-propelled wheeled tractor scraper, a machine capable of cutting, hauling, and leveling earth in one continuous operation. Construction projects suddenly became faster. Then came another breakthrough. In 1952, Caterpillar unveiled its first integrated track loader, a compact yet incredibly capable machine that could dig, lift, and move materials with precision. Productivity had just taken a major leap forward. In 1955, Caterpillar equipment joined the U.S. government's Operation Deep Freeze mission in Antarctica. Extreme cold, relentless winds, a frozen landscape where machines rarely survive. But Caterpillar machines kept moving, and for the first time, Caterpillar equipment had operated on every continent on Earth. The 1960s pushed the company even further. In 1962, Caterpillar introduced a powerful 769 off-highway truck, a massive machine built for heavy mining and earth moving. At the same time, Caterpillar equipment was helping expand one of the world's most important shipping routes, the legendary Panama Canal, a project that reshaped global trade. Then in 1969, something extraordinary happened. When humanity reached the moon during the Apollo 11 moon landing, Caterpillar generator systems helped power mission operations on Earth, from construction sites to space exploration. The company's impact had reached unimaginable heights. By the early 1970s, Caterpillar was not only growing, it was evolving. In 1972, the company introduced its first hydraulic excavator, the 225. And in 1973, Caterpillar launched its first remanufacturing plant, Instead of discarding worn components, they rebuilt them, giving machines new life, reducing waste, saving energy, long before sustainability became a global movement. By 1975, Caterpillar had become one of the most powerful industrial companies in the world. But rapid growth brings new challenges. Global competition was rising, economic storms were approaching, and the next era would test Caterpillar like never before. By the mid-1970s, Caterpillar Inc. stood at the top of the construction world, but global dominance never lasts without a fight. And the next challenge arrived suddenly. The oil crisis. Fuel prices exploded. Construction projects slowed. Demand for massive earth-moving machines began to fall. For Caterpillar, the golden era was suddenly under pressure. And there was another threat across the Pacific. A determined rival was rising, Komatsu Limited. Japanese manufacturers were producing machines that were cheaper, reliable, and increasingly competitive. For the first time in decades, Caterpillar's leadership was being challenged. The company faced plant closures, layoffs, and its first major financial losses in decades. The question was clear. Could Caterpillar survive this new industrial battlefield? The answer came from engineering innovation. In 1977, Caterpillar introduced a revolutionary machine, the D10 track-type tractor. But the real breakthrough was hidden in its design, the elevated sprocket system. By lifting the drive sprocket above the ground, engineers reduced stress on the drivetrain. Machines could work harder, last longer, and operators experienced a smoother ride. It became one of the most iconic engineering innovations in heavy equipment history. That same year, Caterpillar introduced another breakthrough, the differential steering system, a technology that allowed massive machines to turn with incredible precision. Contractors called it simple. Operators called it revolutionary. Productivity increased dramatically, but innovation alone wasn't enough. Caterpillar also expanded its global reach. In 1981, the company acquired Solar Turbines Incorporated, entering the world of industrial gas turbines and energy systems. Suddenly, Caterpillar wasn't just building machines. It was powering industries. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, technology transformed the company. Electronic engine controls, fuel-efficient diesel systems, early digital machine guidance. Heavy equipment was no longer just mechanical. It was becoming smart. Meanwhile, Caterpillar doubled down on mining. Gigantic machines for gigantic operations. In 1998, the company unveiled the massive 797 mining truck, the largest mechanically driven haul truck in the world. And projects across the globe relied on Caterpillar machines. From massive dams in South America to the construction of Kansai International Airport in Japan. By the year 2000, Caterpillar had transformed itself. Leaner, smarter, more global than ever before. The company that once built farm tractors had become a technological powerhouse in construction, mining, and energy. But the next chapter would be even more dramatic, because the 21st century would bring automation, digital machines, and a new industrial revolution. As the new millennium began, Caterpillar Inc. was no longer just a builder of heavy machines. It was preparing for something bigger, a future where machines would not only work harder, but think smarter. The first step was technology. In 2001, Caterpillar introduced acid engine technology, improving fuel efficiency while reducing emissions. Then the company expanded beyond traditional construction, rail transportation, energy systems, industrial power. In 2006, Caterpillar strengthened its rail presence by acquiring Progress Rail Services. Soon after, the company expanded even further into mining. In 2011, Caterpillar acquired Bucyrus International, one of the largest mining equipment manufacturers in the world. These moves transformed Caterpillar into a global industrial powerhouse. But the real revolution was happening inside the machines. Automation in large mining operations. massive haul trucks began operating without drivers. What started as experiments in the 1990s became reality in the 2000s and 2010s. By the early 2020s, more than 500 autonomous Caterpillar mining trucks were operating around the world, running day and night, moving billions of tons of material without a human in the cab. At the same time, construction itself was becoming digital. Caterpillar introduced connected platforms like Cat Connect and Vision Link. Machines could now send real-time data to fleet managers: location, fuel usage, engine health, maintenance alerts. Construction sites were transforming into data-driven operations, and by the mid-2020s, more than 1.5 million Caterpillar assets were connected globally. Then came the next challenge: sustainability. Stricter environmental regulations forced a new wave of innovation. Caterpillar introduced cleaner engines, reduced emissions, and expanded remanufacturing programs, reusing components while saving massive amounts of energy. The company even began developing electric and battery-powered machines. In 2022, Caterpillar demonstrated its first battery-electric 793 mining truck, a glimpse into the future of zero-emission heavy equipment. And in 2025, Caterpillar reached an extraordinary milestone: 100 years of innovation. From early track tractors to autonomous mining fleets to digital construction platforms, the yellow machines had evolved into something far greater than equipment. They had become the backbone of modern infrastructure. Today, Caterpillar remains the largest construction and mining equipment manufacturer in the world. But the company's future is no longer just about steel and engines. It's about automation, data, and sustainable power. Because the next century of building the world will require machines that are not only powerful, but intelligent. And Caterpillar intends to lead that future. More than a century ago, a simple problem faced farmers in muddy fields. Heavy machines kept sinking. Progress kept stopping. But a small group of engineers believed something different. They believed machines could do more, move more earth, build more roads, carry humanity further than ever before. And from that belief, Caterpillar Inc. was born. What began as a rugged tractor crawling through farmland slowly transformed into something far greater. Machines that carved highways through mountains. Machines that built dams powerful enough to control rivers. Machines that dug the mines fueling entire economies. Across continents, across generations, the yellow machines kept moving, quietly shaping the modern world. Today, Caterpillar equipment works in some of the harshest places on Earth. Deep mines, endless deserts, frozen landscapes, and even projects that push humanity toward the future. But behind every machine, every engine, every innovation is something much bigger: human ambition. The relentless desire to build, improve, and move forward. Because in the end, machines do not build the world alone. People do. And sometimes, all it takes is the right machine to make the impossible possible. Because when humans dream big, Caterpillar helps move the earth to make it real.